Sorry guys, I'm back. Had some technical difficulties. But anyway, I'm back. Hope you guys are doing amazing, okay? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, happy last week of the year, okay? Hope everybody had an amazing Christmas holiday. Hope we had a storm a few days ago, so hopefully everybody is safe. Everybody's doing well. I know in some cities that has not been the case. So hopefully everybody's doing well, okay? And hopefully you guys are preparing for 2023, all right? So today I want to talk about why your hormones are in balance, okay? And the reason why I talk about hormonal balance all the time, because it is the reason why we get these womb health issues. It's the reason why we get heavy bleeding. You know, imbalanced hormones is the reason we get so many health issues, you know, even depression, anxiety. You know, your hormones are extremely important. They literally affect the way you think, the way you feel, your health. So your hormones being out of balance, which is very, very common, especially with women, is a huge issue and something you want to take seriously. So I'm going to talk about why your hormones are not in balance, okay? Because like I always say, these everyday healthy habits that we do, influence our hormones, okay? So I did a post. Hey to everybody's coming in. If you're in, you know, hashtag live, I want to say hi to you. But yes, so about maybe a month ago, a couple weeks ago, I did a post that said, I was kind of playing around, but I was kind of serious too. I did a post saying that if your hormones are in balance, once you balance your hormones, your taste in men may change. And I'm really serious about that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women, for example, who gotten off birth control, who said that they're not only did their mood change, like their taste in men and what they require change. And I know it may offend some people, but there were women telling me that, you know, before, when they had hormonal imbalances before, maybe they were more drawn to men that, you know, didn't really believe in gender roles, and maybe they didn't believe in gender roles. And it was kind of like that. This is an example. This is what people had told me. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But then once their hormones got back in balance, once they got off the birth control and all that stuff, then they started connecting more with their feminine essence, and they kind of wanted somebody more masculine. I mean, you know, that's more, you know, provider, protector. You know what I mean? That's what they reported back to me. So if that offends you, hopefully don't offend anybody here. And it's very interesting because that happens. I'm not saying that your taste in men, it may change, it may not, but your taste in certain things may change. Okay, your hormones are very powerful. They influence your everyday choices. They influence, you know, like I said, the way your bodily functions. They influence everything. So, really, really important. I'm gonna show you why your hormones aren't balanced. You know, what are some things that you're doing? What are some habits that you're participating in that's causing this hormonal imbalance that's going on in your life? Okay. So for everybody coming in, hi, my name is Sasha. If you're new to me, hi, welcome to my page. My name is Sasha and I'm a holistic woman wellness coach, okay? I help women who are struggling with womb health issues, who are struggling with reproductive health issues, engage in everyday healthy habits in order to heal, okay? We're all about holistic healing over here, okay? So if that's not you, then I'm probably not for you, but I'm all about showing women how to utilize food as medicine, how to utilize holistic methods, you know, instead of relying so much on the Western medical system that has failed many women, especially many Black women, okay? So if that is you, then you've come to the right place. I've helped many, many women not just balance their hormones. I've helped many, many women shrink their fibroids, overcome infertility, get rid of PCOS, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, shrink their ovarian cysts, okay? And I've helped many women get rid of estrogen dominance, as well as, you know, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, you know, the list goes on, really. The list goes on. I've helped, in the last few years, I've helped many women also as well lose tons and tons, significant amounts of weight as well. So I've been able, I love what I do, so blessed to do what I do, love helping women get healthy, love helping women heal their wombs. Because, like, guys, the body and the womb are interconnected. So once you heal the womb, you heal the body, okay? And on the way to healing the womb, you're healing the body as well, okay? You're healing your body, your mind, your spirit, all that stuff. So let's get into it. Why your hormones are imbalanced. So hormonal balance in women is extremely common. So your hormones, for women, for their hormones being imbalanced, unfortunately, is very, very common, right? Very, very common. Unfortunately, the majority of women do not recognize, the beginnings of a hormonal imbalance. They just don't. Majority of women have no clue about their hormones. And that's because we're not taught by doctors, which we're supposed to be. And we're not taught about our hormones until there's an issue, until maybe somebody's, infertile. That's when, but your hormonal balance is important throughout your life, not just when you're trying to have a baby, not just when you're having trouble with conceiving. Okay. So that's wherein lies the problem. A lot of us don't learn about our hormones, and we don't know how it affects everything that we do. We don't know the importance of that. Your hormones affect everything from your reproduction to your energy levels, to your like I said earlier, maybe going to affect your taste in men, but also your blood pressure, your body temperature, your sleep, even your hormones do affect your sleep, to even your metabolism, ladies, even your metabolism. Okay. So even your weight, your hormones affect your weight as well. So your hormones literally have an influence on the way you think, you know what I mean? It influences your day-to-day decisions and your day-to-day choices. It's very important. It's very, very important. Like for your hormones to be in balance is extremely important, okay? There is no health and happiness without hormonal balance. I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? So just imagine how harmful it is to have hormonal imbalance occurring in your body. It's very, very harmful. It can be very harmful, and your body will feel it. And like I said, it will show you signs. So hormones are chemicals produced within and sent throughout the body to help regulate and control your body's whole development, okay? So it affects you. We have about 50 hormones in our body around that. Very, very important. Your hormones are very important. And they play a large part in your daily functions. So everybody has hormones, of course, but for women, we're naturally just more affected, by our hormones. And that's just the way we were designed, okay? Hey, everybody coming in, #live if you're in, #live. Make sure you guys share this video, very important video, because so many women are dealing with hormonal imbalances. Okay, so as women, we just tend to be more hormonally vulnerable. That's just the way we're naturally designed. So women have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to, making sure that their hormones are in balance. We have to be a little bit more careful because we're just hormonally vulnerable, okay? And if you ladies have a question, let me know anytime. Stop me anytime. But anyway, so when your hormones are in balance, that's when you start experiencing a lot of symptoms. I want to go over some of those symptoms. But, the reason why a lot of people don't really understand that they're experiencing a hormonal imbalance is because a lot of the symptoms, your body will show you that, a lot of the symptoms that your body shows you, we tend to normalize them. We tend to think that they're just a part of being a woman. It's just a part of life. And I used to think these things, back in the day as well, when I was going through a whole series of hormonal imbalances, when my body from puberty, from my first cycle was telling me that, your hormones are out of whack, with my heavy cramping, and all that stuff it was showing me. So your body shows you signs. The body shows you signs that something's wrong, something's off, okay? We normalize, like for example, painful cramps. That's something I normalized as well in the past. We normalized the mood swings, especially when around our cycle time. We normalized, things like acne, having intense cravings, heavy periods, things that are clearly a hormonal imbalance. Most of the world thinks is normal, and the doctors will tell us it's normal as well. And that's wherein lies the problem. Okay, that's wherein lies the problem. So these are clear signs of your hormones being out of whack. But if you having excess amount of estrogen dominance, and I talked about estrogen dominance in my Facebook group yesterday. So if you guys are interested in viewing that whole training I did on estrogen dominance, type in the comments Facebook group, and I'll send you the link to join my Facebook group, okay? So your hormones are literally produced by the endocrine glands in your body. And the goal for your endocrine glands, the goal for your whole endocrine system is to maintain balance. The goal for your hormones is to be in balance, Very important. Very important to your hormonal health. You cannot have a good hormonal health without having your hormones in balance, without having harmony between the hormones, okay? The female hormonal system has to be in harmony, has to be balanced, okay? Very important, extremely important, all right? And it's more than just your hormones, affect more than just your reproductive health. They affect the health of your whole body. They affect the health of your entire body, okay? So with most women, there's an imbalance, of estrogen and progesterone, which, is very, very detrimental. I talked about that yesterday. Very, very detrimental to your health when you have an imbalance of any hormones, but especially estrogen and progesterone, because those are key hormones for women, okay? And I talked about how that can literally wreak havoc in your body. It can even lead at its worst to things like infertility, to breast cancer. Those are estrogen dominant cancers, okay? So is uterine cancer as well. And those things, like I said, the rates of those things are rising, like especially among Black women. So that's why I talk about this stuff a lot. There's so many Black women getting cancer before the age of 40. Like the rates are climbing, okay? So let's talk about the signs and symptoms that you are experiencing a hormonal imbalance. I'm going to talk about a few of them because I want you guys to be able to recognize like some of these things you're experiencing is not just, oh, it's just a part of being a woman. Oh, it's just a part of life. No, some of that stuff is your body showing you, hey, something's wrong, you know? So, you know, feeling fatigued all the time, feeling tired all the time, okay? You know, also intense cravings as well. So those sugar cravings that a lot of women say they have, that's a hormonal imbalance, okay? You know, thinning hair loss, you know, if you're combing your hair, you notice a little bit too much is, you know, coming out. That's a sign. Also with men, when they have those receding hairlines, that's definitely hormonal imbalance for men. So men experience hormonal imbalances as well. For women, you know, maybe thinning around the edges. It may be, you know, like I said, hair loss. You know, your hair is coming out more than it should. Also weight gain, okay? Having vitamin deficiencies is a clear sign of hormonal imbalance, okay? Extra sensitivity to like heat and cold. I know a lot of people that are extra sensitive to cold, especially women. Yes, and it's, of course, you know, as they get older, it begins to be heat that they're extra sensitive to. Having a decreased libido, which is extremely common. A lot of people don't talk about this, but having a decreased libido is very, very common. That's a sure sign of a hormonal imbalance. Some women just think, oh, it's just a part of me getting older, or no, that's a hormonal imbalance. Okay. Also, water retention, retaining water. For example, retaining water, you know, even bloating. Bloating, yes, is a hormonal imbalance. You know, in case you did not know, it's a sign of a hormonal imbalance. Okay, or, you know, maybe swelling ankles or any type of water retention in the body. UTIs, okay? UTIs. Please don't normalize these things. Like I said, they be normalized. Oh, it's just, no, in fact, that's a sign of a hormonal, that's a sure sign of a hormonal imbalance. Yeast infections, BV. That's another sign. That's a clear sign that your body's out of whack when you're having infections, when you're having yeast infections, when you're having, you know, BV. Like we gotta stop normalizing these things. So you gotta see how society have normalized sickness, you know. Having painful cramps is also, when your body's imbalanced, you're not gonna have cramps. Okay, and I'm going to tell you about a lady of mine that got purchased my course, my 12-week transformation. Excuse me, my 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids course. That went from a 7-day period of heavy bleeding and painful cramps to a 4-day period of light flow. Okay, so painful cramps is a hormonal imbalance for sure. Having cramps at all is a hormonal imbalance. Actually, having prolonged menstrual cycles, anything longer than 4 days, is a red flag. Okay, heavy cycles, of course, where you're hemorrhaging, you know, anything more than a few tablespoons in a cycle, that is a hormonal imbalance. Changes in your blood pressure, changes in your heart rate, insulin resistance, of course, mood disorders, anxiety, depression, those are hormonal imbalances. All right, so that's just to name a few. And one thing about your let me talk about your menstrual cycle. Okay, your menstrual cycle will show you, is one of your body's, is your body's 5th vital sign for women. Your menstrual cycle is your body's 5th vital sign. You know, like, you know, your body temperature, or your heart rate, or your blood pressure. It's a vital sign in your body. So a lot of times our cycles will show us when our hormones are out of whack. You know, by being too heavy, by being painful, by breast tenderness. You know. Your body will show you, like I said, your body's always showing you signs. You got to know when to recognize something's off. I forgot to mention headaches and migraines as well is a hormonal imbalance as well. So a sign of a hormonal imbalance, okay? So you should not be having insomnia is a clear sign that your hormones are out of whack. Any type of insomnia, any type of sleep issues, that's a clear sign, okay? So, like I said, your menstrual cycle will show you. So if your menstrual cycle is, like for example, I just had a lady who got my 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids course, right? Just probably like 3-4 weeks ago, her last cycle, her cycle went from being 7 days of heavy bleeding almost every day, like every cycle, 7 full days, heavy bleeding, cramps, very painful, very uncomfortable, to 4 days of light flow and barely, any cramps. So that's a huge difference, she just noticed that just by implementing the changes in the 12 steps on how to shrink your fibroids course, just from implementing the changes in like 3 or 4 weeks. That's a huge difference, okay? So like I said, your body's showing you signs. We should not normalize these painful cycles and just think, oh, it's just a part of life. Woe is me. I used to do that too when I used to have really bad cycles, when my hormones were out of whack. Used to just think that it was part of being a woman. It was part of life. This is just the cards I was dealt with. That is not true, okay? That is not true. That is your body showing you some things out of whack. And then that's where it starts, where if you ignore that, you start to get things like fibroids, right? That starts to develop, or you start to get things like PCOS. When you ignore the signs, it can lead to health issues that are a lot worse. So you don't want to ignore the signs, okay? You do not want to ignore the signs, okay? So why does hormonal, let's talk about why hormonal imbalances occur in our body, okay? Our habits, our lifestyle, our diet, and I'm going to be more specific with that. What are reasons for hormonal balance? I'm going to name a few, okay? But this is going to be very helpful, showing you, it's going to be able to show you what area in my life are, why my hormones are imbalanced, and what area in my life do I need to improve on, so my body can be in harmony, so my hormones can be more balanced, so, weight loss will be a lot easier. So, I can have stress-free periods, painless periods, because like I said, having easy, painless, periods is your birthright as a woman, okay? We're not supposed to be suffering like we're in childbirth every single month. That's not how it's supposed to be. So you can get over, I never thought that I could have, cycles that were just easy and, after years of painful cycles, having to take off work and this and that. And I even hear some women that are vomiting during their cycle. Like, that is a clear sign of hormonal imbalance, okay? So let's talk about what area in your life may be causing this hormonal imbalance. So poor nutrition, that's just going to be number one. Having a poor nutrition is number one. That is, if you are having a diet where you're eating a whole bunch of, processed foods, you're not eating foods with key nutrients, you're not eating, like I said, more whole foods, more plant-based foods. I'm not saying you have to follow any type of diet. You don't have to follow vegan, keto, none of that. But just if you're eating an abundance of processed foods, you're not eating an abundance of, foods from the earth, then that's why your hormones are out of whack, because you're really, what you're doing is you're clogging your body up with, so much with fake foods, with processed foods, and all it's going to do is clog up your elimination pathways and, throw your hormones all out of whack, throw your body all out of whack. And that's where we start developing fibroids. That's when we start developing heavy bleeding. So poor nutrition is number one. So if your nutrition is really bad, it's time to make some changes. I do have an ebook for plant-based recipes ebook. If you guys need more recipes, the link is in my caption for those that are interested. But poor nutrition is number one. Okay. Number two, I'm gonna talk about yo-yo dieting. Okay. Yo-yo dieting is oh my gosh, it's so horrible for your health. It's so horrible for your hormones. Ladies that are losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, and they're on a diet every other week. Every Monday they're on a diet. That is horrible for your hormones. And then they go back to eating trash. Then they're on a diet again. Then they go back to eating trash. Then they're on no, that is not how you. That is actually very detrimental to your health, to your body, to your hormones. It's horrible. So I see a lot of women doing that, okay? And I've helped many women get out of that cycle of yo-yo dieting, in my programs. I've helped one-on-one. I've helped many women be able to do that, get out of that cycle of yo-yo. Actually be able to be consistent when it comes to making changes and making healthy changes, not outrageous changes like calorie counting and keto and all that stuff. That's just temporary. You want to stop doing that, okay? It's horrible for your health, okay? Also let me talk about the weight, now we're going to get into the weights, because when you are overweight or obese, your hormones are higher than normal, because those fat cells secrete estrogen. So the more overweight you are, the more estrogen that's going to be in your body. So, being overweight is associated with higher estrogen levels, okay? So being overweight, and a lot of people don't know what overweight looks like, but you got to be realistic for your height, for your size. You have to get to healthy weight. And here's the thing: when your hormones are imbalanced, the weight comes off, and the weight comes off. The excess weight, the extra weight comes off. So much easier. The belly gets flat, okay? You just glow, you look younger, you look more beautiful when your hormones are in balance. Trust me, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. I'm not saying you don't look good now, but you want to get that excess weight off of you, okay? Because the outside does reflect the inside, regardless of what anybody thinks. These are studies, this is research, Your hormone levels are going to be higher when you're overweight, period. So if you need help with weight loss, I'm your girl as well. I got 2 of my programs are on sale. My 12-week transformation program and my sexy 6-week program that's 40% off until the 1st. Until that clock strikes midnight for 2023, my programs are on sale. So if you ever wanted to work with me one-on-one to shrink your fibroids, to get your hormones in balance, to get the weight off, to get rid of PCOS, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, to overcome infertility, then this is the time to work with me now, because the sale is after the 1st. That sale is gone for good. But anyway, get to healthy weight. Very important, getting down to healthy weights. Okay, I've helped many women not just balance their hormones, but get down to a healthy weights. Okay, very important. I want to talk about stress, chronically being stressed out. Chronic stress, okay, which a lot of women do go through. You may not realize that you're going through it, because some women, they're comfortable, like they've been living in this chronic high stress lifestyle so long that they don't even, it's like second nature to them. But no, that does ruin it wreaks havoc on your health. Stress, your body, like I said, it raises your cortisol levels. It throws your body completely out of whack. Stress and we can't avoid stress, but not engaging in habits that's going to help, for example, that's going to help you manage your stress levels better. It can be very detrimental to your health. So if you're this type of person, you're living this high-paced lifestyle, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not taking care of yourself, you're putting everybody before yourself, you're putting your job before yourself, you're putting your kids before yourself, you're putting, your spouse before yourself, you're putting your parents before yourself, that's going to be very detrimental to your health. You're going to break down. You're going to break down, and you're not going to be of any good to anybody. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You got to take care of you first, so you can better manage everyday life stressors, because, being stressed out is part of the, the human experience. I understand that, but you got to take care of you. So when those stressors do come, that your body's better equipped to handle them, and it doesn't throw your body all out of whack. How many people that that weren't taking care of themselves for a long period of time end up getting cancer, end up getting aneurysm, we have so many examples around us. We got to take care of ourselves. That is, our loved ones around us want us to take care of ourselves, okay? It's actually selfish to not take care of yourself, okay? That's what I always tell women. Not engaging in self-care habits is actually very selfish, because I cannot show up as a good spouse when I'm not taking care of myself. I can't show up as a good mother when I'm not taking care of myself. I can't show up as, a good, a coach when I'm not taking care of myself, right? It's not going to work. So very important for you to, engage in habits and find ways to best manage your stress. I know it's cold right now, but when you can, get some sunlight, journal, go to therapy. If you're dealing with any type of trauma that you're holding on to, go to therapy, or, meditate, pray. We got to find better ways to handle those life stressors. Okay. Or like I said, stress really it wreaks havoc on not just your hormones, your reproduction health. It wreaks havoc on your liver health. So many areas of your body is affected by stress. Being stressed out chronically, even if you're doing everything right, just not taking care of yourself and doing, can lead you to become sick. And with cancer at an all-time high, with all these issues, fibroids at an all-time high, with 90% of women, projected to get fibroids before the age of 50, Black women, then we got to do better with the stress. Okay? So also, medications. Yes. A lot of these pharmaceutical medication, I'm not telling you not to take your medication now. I'm not telling you that, but just be aware. A lot of these medications, these pharmaceuticals, do throw your body out of whack. Okay, so I'm more on the natural side, the herbal side. When it comes to supplements and stuff like that. Birth control definitely throws your body out of whack. Okay, I was just telling one of my group members that was thinking about getting on birth control, I was like, no, do not get on birth control. Even for a short period of time, it throws your body way out of whack. You know, I'm over here helping my clients, some of my clients detox from birth control, which can be done, by the way. Detox from the aftermath of birth control. It wreaks havoc in your body because literally while you're on it, your hormones, natural hormones are being suppressed, right? And you're flooding your body with synthetic hormones. It throws your own natural hormones out of whack. So your organs, your body is well equipped to deal with your own natural hormones, but it's not equipped to deal with these synthetic hormones and this birth control. Absolutely not. Birth control is poisonous to your womb health, and to your health in general. There's women that's been on birth control for years, and they got off years ago, and they're experiencing health issues right now. And it may not even be health issues related to the womb. It may be, diabetes. It may be, cancer. But they don't tie that back to that birth control they were on for 5 years, for 6 years. Okay? I don't want to scare anybody, but birth control wreaks havoc in your body. Get off that stuff, y'all. Throw it in the trash. Get it taken out. If it's IUD, get it taken out. I don't care if they're saying it's low hormonal, whatever. Get it out of you. Get it out of you. Okay? Birth control definitely is awful for your health. Now I want to talk about the meat and the dairy. All right, the excessive amounts of meat and dairy. And I know people are going to say, oh, Sasha, you just want everybody to be vegan. No, I don't want everybody to be vegan, okay? Because a lot of vegans are unhealthy, but that's a whole nother life. I'm not trying to recruit you to be vegan, okay? I don't care what diet you follow, but I want you to follow a diet that's going to be flooding your body with key nutrients. And when you're eating huge amounts of dairy, huge amounts of meat, what you're doing is the reason you're throwing your body's hormones all out of whack, because you're literally taking in hormones from an animal that's not supposed to really be in your body. But that's a whole other conversation. But meat, think about how long meat sits in your system, right? These things clog up the elimination pathways, right? Because it literally just sits there. It's very hard to digest. It's really horrible for the gut. So that does affect, like I said, your hormones when you're not digesting things, when you're eating things that don't digest. And a lot of people say that, oh, I'm lactose intolerant. And I say, you're not lactose intolerant. Your body as a human being is not equipped to take in, something that's meant for a baby cow or a growing cow. You're not lactose intolerant. You're actually just a human being. You're not supposed to be taking that stuff, right? So like I said, I'm not trying to recruit you to be vegan. I am saying you got to think about, what am I flooding my diet with? Am I flooding my diet with hormones from another animal? Or am I flooding my diet with actual nutrients, actual nutrient-rich foods, with lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and nuts and seeds, foods from the earth? Okay? I don't care what diet you follow. I do not care, but just make sure you're flooding your diet, your body, with a whole bunch of nutrient-rich foods, and less of that processed stuff, less of that animal stuff. If you're going to eat meat, that's fine. Some of my clients eat meat every now and then, but don't eat more meat than you do fruits and vegetables. That's what's going to hold you back. And don't eat all these meat and dairy, and not to drink water. A lot of people not even drinking enough water. How is your body going to digest all that junk that you're taking in? Okay. That's why your hormones are all out of whack, So we gotta, like I said, we gotta be smarter in our daily habits. You know what I mean? We gotta, like I said, be a lot. Like I said, I just named a few. I didn't want to go too deep into it because I know there's many reasons why your hormones are out of whack. But I'm going to name a few of the top ones that I see a lot of people engaging in. It's so funny because I was talking to somebody and they told me, okay, I now have to eat like a bird, and they actually attribute eating healthy, eating foods with nutrients as eating, compared it to eating like a bird. And I'm like, how is that? Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. I think it's maintenance. Please hold on 1 second. I was like, how is that eating like a bird? Like, how is eating healthy eating like a bird? Like, no. Okay. That's not eating like a bird. That's eating like a human being. Like when you're eating foods from the earth. Okay. So it's really, really, really important for you to realize that and not attribute, like I said, it's mind over matter when it comes to your diet. A lot of times, a lot of people, they cannot grasp the concept of eating a healthy diet. If it's not meat, if it's not dairy, it's not food to them, which is weird because those things are not even food. That's a whole nother conversation. Those things are not even real food, but that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I'm going to get off this live stream, but I do want to say this. Your hormonal balance is extremely important. Your hormonal balance is dire to good health. You cannot have good health without a good hormonal balance. I'm ignoring that right now. You cannot have good health without a good hormonal balance, okay? You cannot have good health without your hormones being in balance. It's very, very, very important, okay? So for those that are interested, I do have my programs that are on sale, 40% off, my 12-week transformation program, as well as my Sexy 6-week program, okay? My 12-week transformation program is now extended to 16 weeks, okay? They're both 40% off until the 1st, okay? Until the 1st. So if you're interested in joining and helping, balance your hormones, shrink your fibroids, get rid of, your reproductive health issues, get rid of heavy bleeding, get rid of estrogen dominance. If you are interested in that, definitely join this program. This program has done wonders in so many women's life. You definitely want to be a part of this amazing 12-week transformation program, okay? My Sexy 6-week program is great as well, but the reason why I say if you're dealing with any type of, health issues, get in the 12-week transformation program so I can work with you for 16 weeks and, and help, literally one-on-one and help you get rid of that stuff, okay? Shrink your fibroids, get rid of, balance your hormones, get rid of, estrogen dominance or whatever you're going through, okay? So I want you guys to, if you're interested, the link will be in my caption. Definitely join in. If you have any questions, I do have payment plans available. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Okay, like I said, Saturday at midnight, sale is gone. You'll never see this price again. Price is gone forever. Okay, get in it now. We're about to be in 2023. We're about to embark on a whole new year. And the great thing about these programs is your start date could be any day that you want. So if you're not ready to start until next week, that's fine. If you're not ready to start until February, that's fine. So what some people do is they want to lock in the price, so they start, they make their start date whatever they want their start date to be. So like I said, my information is in my caption. Click the link in my caption and join. Sign up for my 12-week transformation program. Okay, let's start shrinking our fibroids. Let's start balancing our hormones. Let's get healthy for 2023. Okay, all right. Love you guys. Make sure you, like I said, feel free to DM me if you have any questions on my programs or anything in general. All right, bye.